Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this tutorial, we'll be learning how to make a short pant with an elastic waistband. If you have always had issues with the fitting of your short pant, either on you or on your client, then this tutorial is definitely for you. When it comes to the making of a short pant, there are little details you need to pay attention to for your short pants to come out nicely. Please stick to the end of this tutorial to find out how to do this. If this seems like something you're interested in, please subscribe to this channel, hit on the like button so this tutorial can get to as many people as possible. Also leave a comment for me in the comment section. If you have any questions, you can leave it there also in the comment section and I'll be attending to that. With that being said, let's dive right into this. I already have my fabric here on fold, and to know how many inches to put your fabric on fold, you need to divide your hip measurements by 4. Add 3 inches for your crotch extension and 1 extra inch for your seam allowance. After doing that, I had 15.5 inches as you can see here. Then for the length of your short, just make sure that what you have here is enough for how long you want your shorts to be. From the top of your fabric, come down by 1 inch and connect this with a straight line. Now this line here is going to be serving as your waistline. We'll be inserting a band to this, so you need to take note of your band height. I'll be using a band height of 1.5 inch. Now place that 1.5 inch on your waistline. The reason why we are doing this is because we'll be cutting the band separately, so you don't need to include the band measurement into your short. From there, you're going to mark your waist to your crotch line measurement. To get your waist to crotch line measurement, all you need to do is to divide your hip measurement by 4 and add 1.5 to that. So after doing that, I had 13 inches. I'm just going to mark that on the other side also. Taking note of your band height too, mark the length of your shorts. I'll be using 19 inches, but I'm going to add extra 1 inch for folding allowance, and I'm going to mark this at 20 inches. Connect this together with a straight line. You'll also be marking your hip line measurement. So my waist to hip line is 10 inches. I'm going to connect this with a straight line. Because we'll be using an elastic band, on this waistline here, you're going to mark quarter of your hip measurement, which is your hip divided by 4. Coming to this crotch line also, you'll mark your hip divided by 4. Go ahead and connect these 2 points with a straight line. For your crotch extension, you can divide your hip measurement by 20, but what I always do that works for me is hip below 35. I use 2 or 2.5 inches, and hip of 39 to around 45, I use 2.5 or 3 inches. So here I'm going to use 2.5 inch. My hip is 45 and I'll be adding 1 inch stitching allowance there. Now I need you to pay attention to this particular part, which is creating the crotch curve. This is going to determine if your pant is going to come out really nice. Now while placing your curve there, you know that we mark our crotch extension before marking the allowance. Now make sure that you place your curve there at the crotch extension that you marked. So you'll be creating your curve from this point into the hip line. After doing that, you can now extend whatever you have there into the allowance you added. So this is how to go about the creating of your crotch curve. Coming to the length of your short, you need to take the measurement of what you have around your thigh, your upper thigh, divide that by 2. I have 13 and add 1 inch for seam allowance. Connect this back into what you have on your crotch line. Now coming to the waistline also, you are going to go in by ½ inch, and this is because we want our pant to sit perfectly in front. Now connect this back into the crotch curve like this. Also come down from your waistline by ½ inch and connect it back into the waistline. This is to reduce any form of bulge in front of your short pant. And that's pretty much just it. Now go ahead and cut this out, making sure that you add ½ inch to your waistline and ½ inch seam allowance to this crotch area here. For the back, I'm just going to bring in my fabric. Make sure that your back piece is about 3.5 to 4 inches longer than what you have on your front unfold. Okay, now I'm going to place my front piece here, but before we proceed, make sure that you come down from the top of your fabric by about 2 inches. Though we are doing this is because we have the butt at the back, so we need the back to be higher than the front so it covers your butt well. Now place your front piece there, making sure that the waistline here is on that 2 inch line that you marked. The first thing you will do here is to extend your crotch line So whatever you mark for your front, you're going to add ½ inch, and that is what you mark for the back. For the front, I marked 2.5 inch, so I'm going to add extra ½ inch, and for the back crotch, I'm going to mark 3 inches. Coming to this side here, you'll be adding 1.5 inch to the crotch area. Connect these 2 points with a straight line. Now from here, you are going to create a curve into your crotch line for the back. So you can see how I'm placing my curve there. You don't have to place your curve directly to the 3 inches you marked. Just somewhere around here is okay. Then you can now extend it into your crotch extension there. At the waistline here, go up by 1.5 inch. And from this point, you're going to connect it back into what you have on your waistline. Coming to the length of the short, you'll also mark 1.5 inch and connect this back into what you have on your crotch line. Now, if we're making a normal pant without an elastic band, we're going to take the measurement of what we have on our front waistline and make sure it's the same thing with what we have at our back waistline. But because we're using an elastic band here, this is not necessary. So just cut this out like I'm doing here. After cutting it out, I'll also open up this side like this. You'll be stitching this side down, this crotch area down, using ½ inch stitching allowance. You also do the same thing for the front. Make sure that you place them right side facing each other and stitch it down using ½ inch stitching allowance. After stitching it down, make sure that you iron your seams open like I've done here. Ignore the watermark, it's from my iron. Now you place the front and the back together like this, right side facing each other. You would notice that the side of the back is bigger than that of the front. That's not a problem. That is how it is meant to be. All you need to do is to place the front and the back together like this at the sides and pin it down. Also do the same thing on this other side here. Coming to the crotch area, you're going to place the crotch of the front and the back together like this and pin it down. So you're going to stitch down the crotch area first using ½ inch stitching allowance, and then you stitch down the sides using 1 inch stitching allowance. After stitching this down, this is what I have. Now you're going to take the round measurement of what you have around your waist. You can see that what I have here is 44. I'm going to add extra 1 inch to that, and I'm going to cut my waistband at 45 inches. Now this is my waistband here. Make sure that your waistband is on fold. Also make sure that you fold in one side of the band by ½ inch and press it down just like I've done mine here. For the height, I used 2 inches because we are using ½ inch to stitch this down to the pants, and that is going to leave us with 1.5 inch. Now to attach this to your pants, we are going to start from the center back. So this side here that we didn't fold in by ½ inch, that is where we are going to start with first. So you are going to place it on the right side of your pants like this, making sure that you leave about ½ inch out. Pin this around. So you can see that the band meets at this point here. I even have more than ½ inch on this other side. So first of all, let's go to our machine and stitch this down using ½ inch seam allowance. After stitching it down, you can see what it looks like. Now this side here at the center back that we left about ½ inch, we are going to put them together like this, and we'll stitch it down using ½ inch seam allowance. After doing that, this is what I have. I'm just going to turn this for you to see. So this is what it should look like. Now we'll be finishing off our band, and to do that we are going to fold this other side inside. I'll just turn this over to the wrong side. So I'm just going to fold it like this. You can see the reason why I said you should iron in ½ inch, so it will be easier for you. Now I'll advise that you use hemming gum, put it in between here and iron it down so that the band stays in place before you go ahead and stitch it from the front, okay? So after ironing my hemming gum, this is what I have. You can see how neat that looks. Now what you will do here is to go to your machine and stitch it down in between this place here. I think it's called the stitch in the ditch method, all the way around. But when you get to the back here, you leave about 1 inch allowance so that we'll insert our elastic through that area. After stitching it down, I left 1 inch around here like I said you should. Now we're going to insert our elastic to this area. For the elastic, to know how long the elastic should be, take out 6 inches from your actual waist measurement, and that will be the length of your elastic. Now using my safety pin, I'm just going to insert it through this back here, making sure that the elastic stays straight in the waistband. After inserting the elastic, now you are going to go to your machine and stitch it down about 4 times so it stays in place. Then you fix it back into your waistband and you are going to close up the remaining 1 inch left open using the stitch in the ditch method. After closing it, this is how beautiful it came out. I already went ahead to hem the lower part of my pant, and this is what I have. I hope this tutorial was really helpful. I would love you guys to give this a try and tell me what you think about this. We have come to the end of this tutorial. I'm going to see you guys in my next one. Bye.